is noticeable when you put the balancer system in. You do definitely see more growth, heavier yields, and healthier plants with less insects or disease on those plants. My name is Peter Webb. I am the president of Laurentia Incorporated. Our mission is to heal the earth, and through that we'll heal the people and the plants and animals on this earth. I'm here today to help to explain the method of how our balancer system work and our energy system work. It's based on sacred geometry and ancient knowledge and wisdom, and we're using modern equipment to copy and enhance what the ancients did. The ancients used to balance the energy of the soil with a medicine wheel, and then they used cosmic energy. They put a big crystal rock at the base of a big tree, and they created cosmic and earth energy and created this mix that in their villages they had no bugs, insects, or fleas on their dogs or anything. It was that knowledge that we have built our system on. The electromagnetic balancer is our main system that we use for homes. Again, it brings in energy from the top and energy from the bottom, and it sends it out in an organized form through the sides. And it takes 2 of these units to do the average home, and it harmonizes the entire environment, putting the colors of the spectrum in, because every mineral that we consume, including oxygen, has a color attached to it. So it's important that we have these minerals in this device. So we have 16 minerals, 18 amino acids, and 11 vitamins that are in this device to send those frequencies out to the human body, plants and animals, to help them improve their health and stay healthy. These units totally balance all of the geomagnetic lines that carry the frequencies of electricity and other things in the environment. Like you can have the geomagnetic lines flow, so they can carry the essence of gasoline stations or storage tanks, or and particularly when you get the electricity coming into the home, there are all these other frequencies piggybacking on the power lines, cell phones and microwaves and GPS. Those frequencies will come in, and it's called dirty electricity. So it also has an effect on our health. So these units are designed to strip all those extra frequencies off to give us a secure area where we live. The 2 units will do your entire property, up to 5 acres, and it manages the plants in the garden and your whole home. And now with the water system that we've developed, we're able to actually increase the oxygen in the environment as well through these units. For farms, we use more of them. We've put this Tesla plate now on some of the balancers. When we use 3 of the conventional ones and 1 of these, we can do 1,500 acres. The Tesla plate is paramagnetic, and it allows the soil to become paramagnetic, and then the plants in themselves are diamagnetic, so they are physically harvesting nutrients from the air and supporting themselves from the air. Like in the nighttime, the plant will harvest, on an acre of land, it can harvest up to 300 to 400 pounds of nitrogen per acre. This is fixed in the plant as nitrate, and then during the day, through photosynthesis, it's moved up into amino acids and proteins. During the daytime, the plant will harvest, and again on an acre of land, 40 to 50 tons of carbon dioxide per year, which is actually converting this carbon dioxide to sugar, which is sent down through the root system to the microorganisms in the soil. and it's supporting the microorganisms that break down nutrients in the soil and then send them back up into the plant. So if you have an invasive insect like a aphid, the plant will send up the sugars, the polysaccharides, and make that plant indigestible to that insect. If it does, if any insects consume that plant, they will die because the sugar turns alcohol in them and they can't digest it. No one has really said, how all these frequencies, external frequencies, are affecting the health of plants and animals, but it's noticeable when you put the balancer system in. You do definitely see more growth, heavier yields, and healthier plants with less insects or disease on those plants. So in that terms, it's important in the farming community to understand where we're coming from. We're trying to go back to normalizing all the life in the soil and on the soil. And then we understand that through our system, we've had to create a template which is connecting all of the planets in our universe, because they have a profound effect. Few people understand that every species of tree pulses with a planet in the universe. So it's important that we're able to do this connection because everything is connected. We see people that have negative thoughts. And that could be anything from anger, hatred, emotions, ego, greed. They don't realize it actually affects plants and animals. They are so sensitive that they can pick up, particularly animals, they can pick up when you're having a bad day. They become very nervous because they're that sensitive. So what we're trying to do is smooth everything out in the environment, and we're able to change the magnetism of the soil, where we change the water molecules in the soil so they're smaller. We call it surface tension, and it allows the plant to transport nutrients from the soil into the plant, and vice versa. In the animals, we're transporting nutrients from the digestive system to the cells and then waste away from the cells. And this is the reason we see so many trees that are dying now from the top down, is because they've accumulated so many toxins at the root zone that they just don't have the energy to push nutrients to the top of the plant, and then they become susceptible to the emerald ash borers, longhorn beetles, and pine beetles. So with this, we're able to counter those because we're moving nutrients up. And of course, the same thing applies to those insects like emerald ash borer. It can't survive on high sugar sap in the tree. It basically turns to alcohol and kills them off. But they don't even attack a tree. Bugs fly and they see the infrared given off by plants and trees, and when they see a sick plant, they all move in on it. It's somewhat like when you have a sick animal, the wolves will move in and clean it up. They're just part of the Earth's cleanup crew. So we know for a fact that when you're growing crops and you're constantly spraying for pests and fungi, funguses, and this kind of thing, that the plant is not healthy. And this is part of where we are to create an environment so these products are not necessary. I have a greenhouse that I manage now in Ottawa that is a large facility, and we've gone totally away from all chemicals and pesticides and chemical fertilizer. It's all done through natural products. And we're controlling the pests with predatory insects like lacewings and Prosymilus for spider mites and different things. So we know for a fact that you can grow flowers and crops in greenhouses or in the field without the need for all of the chemicals that we use today. So there are many, many benefits to this system of balancing out the environment on your property, whether it's in your home or whether it's on a farm or even in a factory environment. We have the same, people are more calm and less tense when you put these balances in a work environment. So this is a whole principle we've got. Now we found that with this technology last year, corn that was untreated was running anywhere from 50 to 60 pounds a bushel. But every farm that had this balancer system on it got between 74 and 76 pounds a bushel in extra nutrients. And so it actually improves the nutritional content to the point where dairy farmers are now able to cut their vitamin mineral supplements in half because there's more in the feed that they're growing. And now we've been able to send the oxygen out through these units, and we found that there is a direct connection between oxygen and nitrogen and other nutrients that can be harvested from the greenhouse gases. Now the geomagnetic lines on farms are also responsible for carrying what they call ground current. And most farmers understand ground current. And it affects the animals and it affects the plants. And if you see where the ground current runs through the soil, that in crops that stand over winter like alfalfa, you'll see die-outs in certain strips across the field. Now, the one thing this whole system is designed for is to counter the effects of all of the man-made electrical that is coming in via electricity, cell phone towers, satellites, GPS, and radar. And these combined will actually tighten the soil. The soil actually starts tightening up, so it's very expensive to try to till the land, where with the balances in place, it increases nutrients in the soil and loosens the soil, so your actual tillage costs go way down. We are now moving more into the water, the cleaning of water, because water is life on this planet. It makes up 80% of our bodies, and the same with plants. So we've developed this technology now that needs no external power. It's run off a solar panel, and it sends out frequencies into the water, and it'll increase the oxygen from less than 1% up to 25%. It removes all of the nitrates, ammonias, phosphorus from the water. This device has no moving parts, it has no maintenance on it, and it just works 24 hours a day off a solar panel. And so this is where we're moving towards cleaning the environment more and more, and each unit has a capability of doing up to 30 square miles of water. So it's you're talking a big lakes, and we're targeting mostly polluted water, fish farms, and sewage treatment plants and reservoirs. Anything that, any city that has a water reservoir would have an advantage of using high oxygen water going in through their water systems. When we started 2 weeks ago, the pond was just full of algae. You couldn't see the fish in it. It was high in ammonia, nitrates, and phosphates. And right now all those numbers are zero, so there's zero phosphate, zero ammonia, and zero nitrate in the water. And the oxygen went from less than 1% to 25% oxygen in that water. My name is Peter Webb. I am the president of Laurentia Incorporated, and I can be contacted through our email site by prcwbb@magma.ca, or you can go to my website at Laurentia.ca. or you can call me at 613-258-4896. This is in Canada. And we can get back to you very quickly, and if you have questions, we can answer them, or we hope we can. Our mission is to heal the earth, and through that we'll heal the people and the plants and animals on this earth.